Hey Guru Nation, quick video for the site directors, site owners, people wanting to start a site. The do's and don'ts of getting studies. And, we've done long webinars on this topic. There's different strategies. My company, DSCS, Sweat Equity and Investments, we have, as of this date, 80 sites around the country in our network that pay us a small monthly fee to help them not just get studies, but do their budgets, help them with their SOPs, help them with their startup regulatory, help them create source, anything you really need help with, consultation regarding issues you're dealing with as far as employee retention, PI retention, patient recruitment. I mean, we kind of help you do it all. We're generalists. We help you start and maintain a successful site, and it's a lot more than just getting studies. That's really just the beginning. But through our initial consultation calls with potential clients, we get frequently asked questions like, hey, what am I doing wrong? And there's a couple of themes here. So when you are new, when you're a brand new site and you're a brand new investigator, and if you are a brand new coordinator, you don't have a lot going for you. Let's face it. The one thing you do have going for you is hopefully research naive patients. Because one would think logically, okay, research naive physician, at least you have research naive patients. If your doctor does not have a private practice, please, by all accounts, try to get their colleagues to help you start building your database. Have their colleagues part of your recruitment strategy, because the sponsors do not want to hear on a feasibility survey that, number one, no one at your site has experience, and number two, you don't have any clue how you're going to get patients, and you're just going to advertise and hopefully that'll take care of it. Here's a news flash. If advertising worked for patient recruitment, it's not like the industry is lacking money. They would just run more ads to get more patients to their existing sites. That's not how it works. And it's actually good for you as a brand new site owner that's not how it works, because then they wouldn't need more sites. So you have to have your patient recruitment strategy in check. You have to understand, you have to have a concrete plan of how you're going to get real patients in your studies. That's number one. Number two, clinicaltrials.gov. It's great. Okay, it's great. We use it at DSCS. We use also things like Zymewire. We have inbound and outbound because of the amount of time we've been doing this. You will get there 1.2. Do not just mass email people from clinicaltrials.gov. Doesn't work. What does work, and it was one of the things we're encouraging our clients to do, we recently changed at DSCS our lead structure. Instead of just sending emails, we send the contacts, but we also send their the LinkedIn profile of the company. And ideally, it's a small to medium-sized biotech, where you can find on LinkedIn relatively quickly the key decision makers at that company. So somebody in charge of clinical trials, clinical trial operations, clinical chief operating officer. You can tell who maybe like the top 5 people at that company that might be the ones responsible for deciding whether you're going to get a feasibility survey or not. So that's the next thing to do, is really utilize LinkedIn. Another thing, do not send the same generic email to everybody. Do a little bit of due diligence on the company, even 5 minutes. Look up the company on their website. Look at their investor relations page on their website. They usually have cool pitch decks about their science, about the pipeline. You can at least learn a thing or two about the science behind it. Maybe it's not something you even want to do after looking at the science. Then talk to your PI about it. Hey, what do you think about this? Oh, this is cool. Yeah, sure, we would love to do that. Then approach that contact on LinkedIn or via email and say, hey, you know what? We've done some research on your company. My PI, this is what he's interested in. We have the patient population for this. We are located in this town. This is our advantages to having a site here. Just something short, like a paragraph, a few sentences, send it. Do that 10 to 20 times a week with different companies. At the end of the month, you should have a feasibility survey, at least one. You might get ignored by 80% of those contacts. That's okay. 20% will reply back. Some will say, hey, not right now, but we'll keep you in mind for future studies. And then others will say, yeah, sure, here's a CDA, and when you're done, here's a feasibility. So that's the more appropriate way to go about getting studies. Now, you can also do things like go in person to conferences. I would especially focus on therapeutic areas of interest of your PI. So my PI at Yuma Clinical Trials, Dr. Smith, he loves obesity. That's like one of his main passions, is getting people to lose weight. There's obesity conferences, there's related conferences, there's diabetes conferences, there's cardio conferences, there's conferences kind of either directly related to obesity or adjacent to obesity. So different morbidities, cardio, and whatever interest you or your PI are into therapeutic area wise, you should look at those kind of conferences. Now, it's nice to go to conferences like SOS. We're going to have our own in February 2024, link underneath this video as well, Save Our Sites Conference. And there's other ones too that I'm not going to mention that are more like industry wide, but those are more like ecosystems. I think SOS is different. That's why we're doing it. It's Save Our Sites. So if you're a site owner and a small one, it's meant for you. But like some of these bigger conferences that don't really focus on therapeutic areas of expertise, it's just an echo chamber for industry people to talk to one another. It's not really a place where you might get studies. So therapeutic areas of interest, because then you might be just one of a few sites going to those things, because most of the sites go to these industry conferences. There's another cool company that actually sponsors this video and the podcast, Inato. So their link is underneath this video as well. Their website is absolutely free for you to set up a profile for your site, and then you select what indications you're interested in, and occasionally they'll send you opportunities like, hey, this is, and it's free, costs you nothing. My site, I'm a client, Yuma Clinical Trials, I'm a client of my own services, DSCSY Equity Investments. We have people doing our budgets, we have people helping us with source, we have people helping us with feasibilities from time to time, getting study leads from DSCS, but I'm also signed up to Inato. Why? Because it's completely free. It gives me the opportunity to say, yes, I want to learn more about this study, or no, I do not. Now, not every study is appropriate that comes my way. Most of the studies I've turned down, but there's been a few studies so far that I've been using it for a few months that I have expressed interest in, and I'm going to keep you guys posted on progress with that stuff. So always look for out-of-the-box ways to get studies. Don't do the same thing everyone else does, which is spam emails. People are starting to ignore those things. And then spamming LinkedIn. But rather, go in there, do your homework, really show an interest in the sponsor, if possible, and then try to sell them on why should they hire your site? Like, especially if you're a rescue site, let's say there's already an existing study, there's already 30 sites. Why should they bring on a 31st if these other 30 sites are having a hard time recruiting patients? Like, what is your unique value proposition? You have to figure this out, and it varies from study to study. And you have to get this, you have to change your frame of mind to stop thinking about what you need and start thinking about what the sponsors need, and then how you could bring and connect patients in your community. That's really what we're doing as site owners, is connecting patients to alternative opportunities in the form of clinical trials. Like, subscribe, comment, share, Guru Nation. Let me know what you think. If you want more info on DSCS Sweat Equity Investments, which is my site network, the one that we do everything for you for a low monthly fee, text me below, 949-415-6256. You could connect with me on all the other social platforms down there. And if you're interested in learning more about Inato, which is free, their link is underneath this video as well. Just do things that other people won't do. Try to scale the unscalable. And it sounds like it's an impossible thing to do, but that's where the real results are. If you're doing 100 feasibility surveys a year and haven't gotten any study, you're doing something wrong in your strategy. First of all, kudos to you for getting that many feasibilities. Most of you watching are not getting any. That's why you're watching this. If you are getting 100 feasibilities or so, I have another video I'm going to make where we talk about how to enter feasibility surveys properly. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Take care. Bye-bye.